Hey y'all. Morning meditations, contemplations, and self-care, you know, soaking in the hot tub, doing my daily routine, having my coffee. Um, the topic of the day is disruption and side topic perfection. We'll start with side topic, perfection, just because that's top of thought. Took me like forever to push record on the video. Like, I wanted the backdrop to be right. I wanted the thought process to be clear. I wanted it all to come out just perfect. And then I realized, that's like the whole point of why I do these raw, feral, and uncut, I want them to be real and authentic. So perfectionism, no thank you. I'm perfectly imperfect, and so are you. That said, being perfectly imperfect, it means, I got some little blessings from the heavens there. It means that disruption happens, right? We start to heal, we find ourselves on this new course of action, thinking differently, looking at things differently, moving through our lives differently, right? And everything starts to go smooth and we find flow and ease. And then all of a sudden, seems like out of nowhere, something comes into your energetic field that causes disruption, right? Discomfort. Sometimes pain, sometimes sadness, sometimes anger. And when those emotions come up, old stories do too. And it's an opportunity. Like, it can be a catalyst, and it can pull us right back into our shadows, and we can, go back into those old stories and relive parts of ourselves that we've already lived and processed and healed. Or we can choose. We can choose to do something different, to feel the discomfort, to allow the sadness, the anger, whatever it is to come up, to honor it, acknowledge it, and then to let it flow through us, as if we were the hollow bone. Just let it flow through. Release it. Find ways to let it go. Whatever works for you. I'm not one to tell you what that looks like. I am one to help you find that for yourself. For me, what that looks like is allowing things to be messy for a minute, because I was always caught up on perfection, right? Which again is why that's a side topic. I wanted everybody to see me in the right light. That's a generational coping mechanism passed down in my lineage. We not necessarily were afraid of judgment. We were just quite literally afraid of being seen, because being seen meant harm, meant danger. So instead of, trying to be perfect and keep everything status quo, when disruption comes, I let myself fall apart now. And that said, my house is a wreck. I mean, like, really. Lots of dirty dishes. I need to take the garbage out. I need to clean the bathroom. I need to vacuum. I've got dog hair everywhere. I have clean laundry, like all the laundry is clean, right? But it's like overflowing heaping mound on my bed, or all the baskets are full, need to be folded and hung. I need to dust. We live in a rainforest, almost a jungle, right? So the amount of dust that I have in my house is insane, and because of the humidity, I got to keep the fans going all the time. So I get this layer of dust on the walls around where the fans are, and on the tops of the window seals and all the things, right? Fan blades, got to clean all that. The list goes on, right? And then I have all the work stuff, the old work stuff that needs to be closed out, the new work stuff that needs to be developed and nourished and loved so it can grow. And then the self-care stuff, disruption. I am starting to see clearly what that looks like, why it happened, what my role in it is, how I perpetuate the stories, and I'm ready to change them. And the only reason I was able to come to this so quickly, and mind you, the disruption that I'm speaking of hit my life about a month ago, and I allowed myself to sit in it. I allowed myself to be messy. I allowed myself to pause, to contemplate, to be uncomfortable, and even to be bored at some points, and just sit in the energy of where I'm at. And now I'm coming out of it. I'm on the other side. And I'm ready to get up off my booty, go clean my house. I'm ready to start working on some of these projects again and putting myself fully back into my life, and to love myself more, and to do all the things that I was doing before that I felt like were second nature, just a natural organic part of who I am. They got tabled when the disruption hit. And like I said, I got messy, I paused, I felt the things. I asked myself which stories were true and which ones needed to be shedded. Was I kidding myself? Those old stories are coming back, that must be a part of who I am. Or is that just bullshit? And it is. It's bullshit, because the person I choose to be, the person I work at being every single day, that's who I am. And the more I step into her, into her power, into her presence, into her purpose, into her love, the fuller that my life has become. And I am so full of gratitude. Like, even in the disruption, even in the chaos and the mess, I couldn't shake the gratitude. And that is how I know that I'm growing. That is how I know that I'm alchemizing. That is how I know that all of this is worthwhile. Love yourselves, my friends. Love yourselves fully, radically, authentically, as deeply as you possibly can. Look yourself straight in the mirror and in your beautiful eyes. Tell yourself how amazing you are, and that you love yourself unconditionally. All of you. The darkness, the light, and everything in between. That is our fullness. Embrace it. Have a blessed day.